Hey guys, this is Helabella, and I am joined by Tati, and we are going to talk about her weight loss journey. She has been on a GLP-1 for a couple of months now. We're going to get into her story, everything about her, and just kind of get some background on her perspective on being on this type of medication. So if you want, you can kind of tell how did you really get into GLP-1? How did you find out about it?
Found out because my doctor gave me a scare and told me I was pre-diabetic. I'm a nurse by trade, so I was like, wait, that can't be me. I always knew I was overweight, but I was kind of in denial and didn't want to accept it. So she told me this is the option that we can do. My insurance didn't cover it, and I had to go to compound. Being scared was definitely what made me do research. I was terrified of the rare side effects, pancreatitis and whatnot. My father passed away from a very severe case of pancreatitis. So that was my main determining factor.
Yeah, so you had a very realistic, you had an experience with that. It wasn't just something that you were reading about. It was literal, like, happening in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. After when she first told me, let's put you on a GLP-1, specifically she chose Manjaro. I looked into it and the first thing I saw was pancreatitis and I was terrified. But I knew that there needed to be a way out of this and I really was fed up. I was at a breaking point of enough was enough. So I
Mhm.
decided to go ahead and read the trials and then dive first into it.
And I guess having a nursing background, it's almost like you know almost too much in a way because like you've seen everything.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen the worst cases of pancreatitis. There are mild cases, but I see the horrible ones, and that's exactly what I thought would happen to me. That was terrifying. That was terrifying. But I was able to see the numbers and the trials, and I was able to see the statistics, and it wasn't enough to keep me from starting.
At that point, I guess had you tried other things to lose weight?
So I always knew that I was overweight. Everybody knows that they're overweight. Everybody looks at themselves in the mirror and says, this is not good. I had
Yeah.
2 children. I'm approaching my 40s, and I knew I was carrying an excess of 50, 60 pounds. But I tried the realist, like the real old school. I tried, dieting, exercising,
Mhm.
eat a little bit less,
Right.
move a little bit more.
Yeah, what everybody tells you will work.
And it wouldn't budge. Absolutely not. I also have endometriosis. So I've always had that hormonal imbalance, and I had a full hysterectomy as well last year. So hormonally, I was in shambles. That was the hardest part. So I knew after many years of being in this larger body, I I knew I needed to do something. So that's when she told me you should try a GLP-1, and I had heard about the Ozempic craze.
Right.
I was actually very against it initially. That's what I feel is so
There's a
great.
lot of
Very
bias.
I was very against it. I said this is the easy way out. This is cheating.
Mhm.
And once I looked into it and I got actual numbers in black and white, it was totally the opposite.
I mean, I thought that when I was in my early 20s, I was like, if people want to lose weight, they can lose weight. They're just not trying. And then, like, as I started getting into my late 20s, I'm like, oh, I'm trying everything and nothing is working. Like, it happens fast where I just feel like it's really difficult for women to lose weight in general. Like, my boyfriend will go on a diet and he'll lose like 10 pounds the first like month, and I'll lose like 1 pound.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. And I think it all came together. Life, stress. I became like this tequila and bourbon connoisseur,
Mm-hmm.
drinking almost daily. So the calories there, that empty calories.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just food, calories, stress, metabolism, age, everything you want to involve all together.
Right. Yeah. So you've left? Have you left nursing, or you're still in nursing, but you're doing it from home?
Yeah, I was at the bedside for 10 years. I was in the ICU all through COVID.
Oh
We
my
can do a
gosh.
whole other conversation on that. And
I bet you have some PTSD.
it was horrendous, yes. And
Yeah.
once I decided, I said, I'm leaving here. So I did leave. I work from home now. I work for an insurance. I do clinical reviews. But I definitely left the bedside.
Yeah. Well, and that, that's just, like you said, a conversation for another day. But I see a lot of nurses getting out of that. My mom did the same thing where she was like, I'm going to work from home now. And like her life is so much better. It's like the stress level just came completely down.
Yeah, fully. Everything. I was doing 12-hour shifts, working weekends, working holidays, and I have none of that. So
That's, that's
100%
awesome.
different life.
So when it came to like a compound, were you like as a nurse, what did you know about compounded medication before? Because I didn't know, I genuinely did not understand what it was. I was like, is this like even legal?
So I did know about compound pharmacies. They make actually in the healthcare field a lot of other compounds. They make nasal sprays, shampoos, everything compound. It's just basically one ingredient mixed with anything else other than that, just ingredients. So I knew that they existed. I wasn't fearful of them. I
Mm-hmm.
just saw the price point. And when they told me upwards of $1,000 for Manjaro as opposed to a compound, I said, there's no doubt in my mind. There's not even a question. Sign me up. So
Yeah,
I started with compound from the get, and my entire weight loss has been on compound.
right. So I mean, and I don't see, I've been on both and I really haven't seen a difference in one or the other. I think it's, it's a peptide, in my opinion. Like it's the same thing. It just got a different label on it. It's like when you buy Great Value at Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. And I say that often. I try to tell people, and it's not interchangeable. It's not actually generic. And I always have someone who says, "Well, it's not generic." I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's not generic, but for all intents and
Mhm.
purposes, it is generic."
Right.
So
And alcohol, was that, like you said, you leaning on that because of the nursing stress? Like, how has it been for you? Because I know after I got on Ozempic, I did not like the dopamine rush that I would get from alcohol was almost gone. So I would drink, but it wouldn't be like as fun.
I come from an entire background of heavy drinkers. The reason my father got pancreatitis was because he was a binge drinker, and it's one of the main reasons why you get pancreatitis. Um, I think that was a very big key factor in me drinking. I used to drink socially. I used to drink for coping. I would just have, regular glass of wine a day, but then it would turn into, hey, let's have a glass of bourbon and let's have this. So I was definitely with a very high tolerance drinking some hard stuff. I would have
Mm-hmm.
about a drink a day, but a drink a day every day is not something that is good. um it never got quite to the point. I wouldn't even basically have any effect, anymore. People would tell me, how do you have a drink a day? I'm like, well, because it's just kind of like my coping
Yeah.
release. I would tell them it's like when you grab a book or when you go watch a movie.
Yeah. When you get off
So
work, you have, your drink or whatever. I drink like that too. So I really understand that, like, it almost becomes like just part of your routine.
yes, exactly. So I saw no issues with it. I was like, well, I'm still functional. I still attend to my children. I still go to work the next day, and I'm not, I'm home. I'm not driving. I'm not doing anything wrong. So to me, it was fine. And it wasn't until now that I don't even want to or crave it.
Yeah.
And it was a really big battle mentally. It was a huge battle mentally, more than anything.
My resolve has gotten a lot better since being on the medicine too, like with just little things. I know they're like testing it for people with like addictive behaviors, but like I just feel like it also like helped other areas of my life like balance out a little bit because it was like I'm not, I guess, feeling like all of this stuff isn't going on over here so that I can finally focus on my life. Like I'm not so obsessed with my weight. I'm not obsessed with my diet. I'm not obsessed with like going to the gym and being on the elliptical for like an hour and like sweating so much and making no progress at all. I don't know what I thought I was doing in there.
Exactly. And that's the worst part, which leads into the mental. That's the worst part of it. You're doing all these things, you're doing all the things, and nothing at all is working. So you get disillusioned, then you want to stop, you don't want to do anything more. And it's this vicious cycle of, what am I doing?
Did you have any side effects like besides, okay, I know you probably didn't get pancreatitis, but did you did you have like nausea? Did you have headaches? Did you have all that stuff?
So I got very minimal. I got mild to no side effects. I just got a little bit of fatigue, which I've learned to cure with electrolytes. I got some insomnia, and it's gotten better over time. And then I got sporadic headaches as well. But once I
Mhm.
eat like my calories, I'm good. But I got very, very minimal. Other than that, oh, and I've been struggling with some of that constipation lately too.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
pretty
really
much have to take supplements all the time,
same.
like stay on them,
Yep,
basically.
same. Yeah,
Um,
I did
that's
not get any side effects of like all the rare side effects, everything that people are generally scared about. And I usually ask them, what is it that you're scared about so you can narrow it down? Because that's what helped me. When I narrowed it down and I said, well, what am I scared of? Okay, I'm scared of pancreatitis and kidney failure. When I started to look at the numbers and I saw it was like less than 1% in the trials, it was tiny, and how rare it was and how many people. And then when I entered the community and I started asking, hey, do you know anybody? And no one knew someone that got this.
people. I've heard people say that they like overdose on it. My aunt, bless her heart, she took the whole pen when she got it. Like, 'cause she got a regular pen, and and I was like, she had to go to the emergency room. But I'm like, did you not read like any of the instructions? She was like, no, I just thought it was like a dose. I was like, so I mean, I feel like there's a lot of instances where like that, where it's like, Ozempic put me in the emergency room, but it's like, no, girl, you put you in the
You put
emergency
yourself there.
room.
No, you put yourself. Yeah, I know. I've been a I've been a great responder. I'm a self-proclaimed hyper responder. I'm still on the second dose. I'm still on 5, and I've been on that for 20 weeks. And not many people can be on it. Um, so I've stayed on it, and it's working fine. I have incredible suppression, and I'm still losing. So it's been life changing for me.
Yeah. Do you struggle to eat, or do you have to like? Sometimes I find myself like forcing protein down my throat because I'm like, I do not even want this. I don't want any part of it. I'm just eating to get through it.
Yeah,
So, do you ever experience that?
I do. I struggle to eat. Definitely between day 1 and 5, I'm struggling to eat, and I'm doing the same thing. I don't count my calories like to the T. I'm not that good. I don't count my stuff like that. I try to track my protein, but if I'm trying to stuff protein down my throat too. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to do if I can't eat. Today, for example, has been a very low calorie day because my shot day was yesterday, and I've just been grabbing protein. I just walked by my kitchen, grabbed some chicken, and started putting it in.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to do the same thing because I'm like, if not, I will get like a headache and I'll get like hangry, but I won't know why I'm mad, and I'll just be taking it out on everybody in my house.
Same, the same. We are the same.
Is there anything that you add? Electrolytes?
Yes, I take electrolytes daily. That's my go-to. I have, now I'm realizing I have all these medical conditions. Jesus. I have POTS too, another one.
Yeah.
So I chronically have low blood pressure, and I need like an increase in salt. So the electrolytes I take, I have salt. A lot of people don't like them with salt or sugar, but I need all those things. So
Mm-hmm.
electrolytes are my lifesaver. Other than that, I take protein shakes. I
Yeah.
I take biotin. I haven't had any hair loss, thank God, but I take
Yeah.
biotin, multivitamins, and definitely Mago 7.
With POTS, is it the thing where you pass out if you like get up too fast?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And then if you get up too fast too from the bed, like sometimes my daughter's like, hey, come over here, and I'll jump out of bed. Like I get up and I kind of like have to slow down because I'll crash into the wall. Like it's
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's dizzy. So you have to get up slowly because not only will you pass out, but you get really, really dizzy. So I need to keep my salt intake high. I'm a mess. I just realized this.
I mean, look, if you have it, then somebody else probably has it. Because I feel like PCOS, endometriosis, POTS, like those are all like cluster, like being pre-diabetic, like all those conditions are
Yeah,
related.
that's why I really think I hit the nail on the head. I think this is, at least for me, I hit like the holy grail because the endometriosis was terrible, it was killer. And you know I spent years not knowing what was wrong with me, with a huge belly, terrible menstrual cycle. It was horrendous. And my hysterectomy helped me greatly, but I still get endo flares. And the medication, the tirzepatide, has helped me astronomically. So
Mm-hmm.
it's balanced my hormones. It's helped, obviously my weight loss, all of the things, POTS, endometriosis, the insulin resistance, everything. Oh, which by the way, just to plug it in there, today I got the results of my repeat A1C. And
Mm-hmm.
it was, when I was pre-diabetic 6 months ago, it was 6.1. And I got the
Okay.
results today. 6 months later, it's 4.7.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
I know. I just got that today. So big change in only 6 months. And it's really what
It's
launched me into this.
That's amazing. It sounds like you are like a super responder because I've lost 40 pounds, but it's taken 2 years. So, I
Wow.
mean, it's just been slow. And I mean, I guess because I've counted calories every day for like almost 700 days. So, I mean, and I don't do it obsessively, but I just do it to kind of measure and make sure that I'm not like going crazy. But I mean, I feel like mine has been really slow.
Did you have a lot of inflammation before that you?
I I have chronic pain, so I feel like that's I had a car wreck a couple years ago that like messed me up pretty bad to where basically I have chronic like back pain and inflammation, so maybe that's something to do with it. But I mean, I've been overweight my whole life, so I can't say that caused that.
Definitely knew that I was carrying around inflammation. I know I was carrying around inflammation. I could feel it in my joints. I felt it in my hands. I could feel it everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
while it's not common for a lot of people, and I always tell people, do not go based on, strictly on what I did, because like you're saying, like your results have been different. But my first month, I dropped about 20, and it was fast. My first week was like 8, my second week was like 6, and it was just water. It was water and swelling.
Mm-hmm.
I can't knowingly say that was fat loss, but it was
Yeah.
just so crazy, the inflammation that I was carrying. And I think it was just all metabolic, like, disease.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of it because I mean, I my stomach is so much flatter now, and I know I haven't lost like that much weight, but
Right,
like the midsection where I would be like spilling over my pants is like
right.
slowly disintegrating, and I'm just like, this is good. This is what needs to happen. But do you have a certain type of diet? Do you eat certain things over and over again? Are you like me where you just eat the same stuff over and over again?
I am a creature of habit. I eat the same thing every day. And I really just try to follow like low fat. That's really all I do, low fat, high protein, but I eat the same day. Like I can tell you, every morning I have eggs, avocado, and toast. I have like a protein shake midday. Then for lunch I have a sandwich, whatever sandwich I'm craving. Turkey sandwich, chicken sandwich, ham sandwich. And then midday I have like whatever protein, yogurt or whatever source. And
Mm-hmm.
dinner, I always have chicken breast or salmon with salad every day.
That seems very healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was eating like that before the meds. I was
I swear, people will not believe you when you tell them that. Like they like same thing but different results on the
People would
medication.
ask me, I've had a bunch of people on my social media tell me, "Oh, all you needed to do was stop going to McDonald's." And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
I would just I used to eat the same thing. Yeah, I'm human, and I would go get a plate of pasta, or I would go to McDonald's.
yeah,
Heck, I still go to McDonald's. But
yeah.
I wasn't doing that every day, not even every week. And it was zero budge on the scale.
It is like the drug of our generation, essentially. Like, I mean, they're making so much money off of it. It's insane how much it costs. Like, as a nurse, have you seen like medicines that cost this much? Like, what are the more expensive ones that you've seen?
The only thing I've seen that cost this much was insulin. That's it. And that one, you obviously people need it to survive. Other
Yeah.
than that, nothing has cost this much. Not even, I mean, compared to life-saving medications, which in the medical field there's been a lot of comparison to antibiotics. They're saying that the discovery of Ozempic and GLP-1s is equivalent to the discovery of penicillin and all these other antibiotics that changed
Mm-hmm.
the world. And you can get antibiotics now for free or for $5
Mm-hmm.
at a local grocery store. So I have not seen anything at all cost this much. If they remove compound, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, so Fridays is like $2.49 for the semaglutide. And I mean, I don't. That's not really, for a lot of people, that's not accessible. But like that's really the best option that I've seen for the most part in terms of like you get your doctor visit, you get like everything you need, like the meds shipped to your door. They're not charging you extra for shipping or some random thing that's thrown in there. So, you know,
Yeah, when I was looking, because I didn't start with Fridays, I started with a local provider, and that was upwards of 600 a month when I first started. It was a lot, and then I decided to change. I looked into 7 different telehealths. I spoke to about 3 of them, like in consult, and
mhm.
I chose Fridays because of the support. Aside from the fact that after becoming an advocate, but I definitely chose them because of the support.
They have a good system too. I feel like their weekly meetings and stuff, like they have more resources.
Yeah.
It's just nice to know you're not like going through it alone.
Yes. And I started this alone. I started this with nobody knowing. It was just me, my husband, and that's it. Nobody knew, none of my friends. I had mentioned it to some friends and some colleagues and some doctors I work with, and they all shamed me or gave me really bad feedback. They were like, don't do that. You're either going to hurt yourself, you're going to end up in the hospital. So it was awful and it was really lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I would have found something like this in the beginning because the support is probably more important than anything else.
Yeah, it's the amount of like doctors who don't know what it is or don't understand it is like really high. Because I mean, I've had the same kind of experience of people like there's always people posting like podcast clips of being like this drug is dangerous, and I'm just like, it's more dangerous to get like diabetes and heart disease. Like,
Yep, 100%. It's more dangerous to stay obese and get one of those that you won't be able to get rid of.
right? Like, I mean, my grandmother got her leg cut off because of diabetes.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
100%. Diabetes. I was well on my way because I have the genetic traits from my father, and I knew, just the numbers are there. I'm a very big science person, and I want to see it in black and white, and the numbers are there. The obesity and being overweight leads to the cancers. It's a direct gateway to heart disease and diabetes. The numbers are there. So to me, it was either stay on the sidelines like I was and being nervous and scared, or doing this, and
mm-hmm.
chose the latter. So
Well, do you have like, are you having a goal weight now, or are you just kind of going with it to see how far it goes? Like, how do you think 2025 is going to go?
So I don't really have a goal weight. When I first started, I was at 230, and my goal weight was just to get to 190. I didn't even think it was possible. I would never ever think I would be here. Then when I got to 190, I said, all right, I'll get to 180. And then I just broke through 180. And I've learned that I don't really have a goal weight. I'm actually very comfortable with how I am right now. I am super comfortable right now in my body and my skin. I
Mm-hmm.
like how I see myself. And that is a huge switch for me. That is such a big change because I was never that person. So I think goals should be when I am okay with how I look, when I feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable. And I think my body is gonna tell me, I really, I don't really go by BMI. I don't think BMI is a good indicator.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't think I am gonna lose much more, and I'll eventually step into maintenance. But right now, today I'm sitting at 178, and I feel super comfortable. So maybe I'm
Yeah.
at goal, maybe not.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great way to look at it. I mean, because I feel similar. Like I don't have. I'm also at a number that I thought I wasn't going to see again ever. So I'm like, cool. I'll just be happy about this. And if I lose more, I lose more. If not, I just kind of want to keep it, where I am. But I mean, for me, like you said, feeling good about who you are, feeling more confident. Like I feel so much more confident. Like before, I feel like I used to hide Like I would hide in my clothes, but I would also hide like, you know, myself and my personality because I was like, like the fat friend, I guess.
Right. Right. I used to do the same. I would hide behind people in pictures. I would even I once even looked up in pictures, like I looked up online how to pose myself in pictures so that I don't look fat.
Yeah,
Uh, you
a
know,
1000%. Like what, how to stand, like how to angle, like where to put the camera, like where to tilt the camera.
and I would have to okay the picture. If somebody took a picture of me, I would say, "No, I need to look at it." And if I didn't like it, we had to do it all over and they're like, "You're fine." But it was all
Yeah,
mental. It was all
yeah,
here.
yeah. Don't tag me. Don't tag me in that.
Don't tag me.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. This is more a mental journey than a physical journey any day.
What's been like your family's reaction to it?
Contrary to what I thought, they are super supportive. I was so scared of telling them. I was like, everyone's gonna judge me. I have a very small family. Like I mentioned, my father passed. My mother's very close to me. I don't have any siblings, and I have my husband's family, but it's also very small.
Mm-hmm.
And when they found out, I ended up finding out that someone in my family was using the medications too. I
Oh,
I had two people ask me what, where can they get them? My mom was super supportive. She's just like, I just want you to be, healthy and okay. I didn't have one negative reaction from my family. And then it's funny, all the people I worked with and initially were like, don't do it. And all the doctors ended up also coming to me and saying, oh my God, I just saw this, clinical trial came out that it's good for this. And where do you get them? How can I get them?
yeah, yeah. And, you know, the media is not like a clinical trial, but they're posting these headlines that's like, you know, being taken as like facts from even from doctors. Cause it's like, well, if you see something over and over again, I guess you start to believe it. It's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. But I also think a lot of it is just like weight loss medicine throughout history has not worked in terms of sustainability. Like, you go on it. I was on phentermine, and boy, let me tell you, that was a wild ride.
Yeah. I was on phentermine like once for like a week and it was awful. I guess because with my POTS, my heart rate shot up.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, my blood pressure I tried to compensate. It went down and it was not good. So
yeah,
never again. And I
it's
think
rough.
I think that's another fear that I had. I was like, oh my God, does this have any fat burning? Because when you don't know, you fear it. It's normal. So I was like, does this have any fat burning? Because all those fat burners can, cause your heart rate to go up. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to be in the same boat? And it was quite the opposite.
Yeah. So as I understand it, it basically just slows down everything in your system, your digestive system.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we all know it's a GLP-1 and we have those GLP-1 receptors all over our body. So it does slow down our delayed gastric emptying and, delayed digestion, which keeps
Mm-hmm.
you fuller longer, which in turn helps you have a calorie deficit. But the fact that it has those GLP-1 receptor agonists, because we have GLP-1s everywhere, I was reading the other day, it's on our tongue and we have them on our heart, we have them on our kidneys, we have them everywhere. So because of that, it's actually been very protective of a lot of organs. And, I'm such a data nerd. I can go on about this for days, but that was another selling point for me. The fact that it has a protective factor in the kidneys and in the heart. And that's where you get all the other statistics from, that it's helping prevent cardiac disorders and that it's helping, you know, try to prevent type 2 diabetes and all these other things. So it's just endless benefits. I mean, I think my face cleared up. I have rosacea, another one to my list of
Wow.
medical disorders.
Yeah. Well, you look beautiful. You look
Oh,
beautiful.
thank you. And I usually use filters. So I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to have a filter. What am I going to do?
You don't need a filter. You do not need a filter. You look great. I mean, I just feel like it's going to be that medicine that eventually everybody's just taking it, like baby aspirin or something like that.
Yes, they need to put it in the water. I always say that they need to put it in the water. Um, you know, funny enough, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, there was not any medication. Right before I started my job right now, I was working in kidney medicine. And there are medications out there very commonly known in this community, like Trulicity, metformin, Farxiga, those medications doctors prescribe to protect your kidneys. And right before I left my old job, I spoke to one of the doctors. I was saying, the science is there, and pretty soon, obviously everything wants FDA approval, but eventually we're going to switch over to these semaglutides, Ozempics, as the golden standard for protection. So it's coming. It's exciting.
Yeah, and hopefully that will in turn make the price go down eventually. I mean, I really hope so, because a lot of people that I talk to are like, I can't afford it. Like, I just can't afford it. Like,
I know. I try to break it down for people because I get that too, and I try to break it down and say, look, it's less than right now. If through Fridays, it's less than $70, a week. So you are getting everything that you said earlier. You're getting all that support, your doctor's visits, everything, the labs. I mean, when you look at it like that and the investment, maybe not everyone has to be on it forever. We know that you can be on it as long as you want. Likely, if you have a metabolic disorder, you'll have to be on it for a long term, but not everybody does. So I know the price point is an issue, but I just see it as such an investment in your health.
yeah, and I feel like I've spent money on diets that didn't work too, so I'm like,
Videos and CDs and fitness apps and fitness plans.
coaches. I've done it all, and I've also got I like every gym membership. Oh my god, I bet I've joined every gym in this town. I bet I have over the last 10 years, and now I'm at the YMCA, which is like my favorite gym, but I never go. I go like maybe once a week, which is like,
Yeah. I used to have a gym membership and I don't now. I have two pieces of equipment in my house, which is I have one of those walking pads that everybody that like went viral. I have one of those, and then I have a bike and I have some free weights, and I make it work.
that's really all you need. I mean, you can even use your body, like,
Yeah,
body weight exercises. Do you like the walking pad? Do you use it?
I love it. I love it. I have a desk, a standing desk, so I put
Mm-hmm.
it under and I walk on it at least an hour, and I'm there typing away and walking on it. So at least I try to get my steps in at the very, very minimum. I didn't start actually exercising. This is terrible. I didn't start exercising till like month 4 because I didn't need to. I mean, as I was telling you,
Yeah.
melting off and
Yeah.
tired. I think because I had that rapid weight loss initially, I was tired. The fatigue is 100% better now, but I couldn't. Every moment I got, I slept. And
Yeah.
my husband's like, "What are you doing? You're just laying there." I was like, "I can't move."
Yeah. Like, just trust the process. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't feel like, working out is this whole other thing. You don't necessarily need to do it to lose weight, but it certainly helps with the recomposition. I'm starting to get like my little loose arms here and stuff like that, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just part of it. It's like, I still feel like I look better, even though I have like some loose skin.
Same, same. I look better. I've gone down in pant size, but I have to start the recomposition. 100%. I have to start the recomposition. I have started about 2 months ago. I started weight training and did things like that, but those things take time, and but
Yeah.
I absolutely have to start because um I'm curious to see if I've had any muscle loss, which I'm sure I've had, like with any weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very curious to see how much. And I know there's scans out there and all kinds of scales.
Yeah. Like a DEXA scan.
Exactly. Yeah, to try to see what it is I've lost. But overall, I'm just happy with the results and how I feel. So
Yeah. I mean, that's really all the testimony that most people need. So when you're on TikTok, do you do like TikTok lives and stuff? I tried to do a live today. It was a train wreck. It was bad.
no, I do. I do. Well, do you do lives there often?
That was the first one today.
Oh, that's probably why. Yeah,
Oh my god.
it takes a little bit for the algorithm to, warm up to you. But yeah, I try to do a live once a day. Um, I try to go on and at least either talk about exactly this. I really try to build a community for people who just have questions and don't know. A lot of people are starting this, every day. This is very new on a large scale. Not that many people are on this. So I find easily 100 to 200 people a day that are starting these.
Wow.
They come into the lives and they're just like, hey, I'm new. And I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, well, follow me. My goal is to really create a community where we can just come and talk and say, hey, I'm feeling this. What should I do? Most of the time I tell them, okay, call your doctor. But other times it's something simple. Like sometimes they're like, oh, I have dry mouth. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, how much water have you drank,
Yeah.
So a lot of the times it's simple like that. But sometimes they just don't feel well, or I don't know, it's a question about their dose. So most of the time I tell them, hey, call your doctor, but
Yeah.
they can go somewhere and say, hey, I'm doing this. What do you think? Or they'll ask.
Yeah. Just reassurance.
Exactly. So I try to go on once a day, and I really try to just create content to take away people's fear, because I feel like fear is the biggest thing out there.
My
So
dog's trying to come by. Go lay down. What are you doing? You know I'm working right now. He's crazy. He's very clingy.
yeah, mine too. He's right next to me. Um,
I mean, so when you go live and stuff, like, are you going live just by yourself, or do you have other people come in?
no, I'm by myself. I'm staring, talking at my screen forever.
Bruh,
So here's
I,
here's the trick. You have to go 90 minutes. The algorithm wants you to go 90 minutes live. That's how it's going to start pushing you. And then when you're there, it really determines on how many people are in the room. Initially, you get a lot of people come in, but then
mhm.
leave, and then you have
Yeah.
like two people in the room.
I checked my stats at the end because I was like, let me just see. This is the first one. And I was live for like 59 minutes, which is pretty good, I thought,
Yeah.
for like the first time.
Yeah.
And one person stayed on there for 52 minutes. And I'm just like, what were you here for? Like, what? Did you just put your phone down and walk out of the room?
Were you talking
Yeah. No,
the whole 52 minutes?
Yes, I put on my
Oh my.
makeup. I just put on my makeup and like just kind of I did my nails. I was just like, I have to get through that first one because I know it's gonna be awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. I did that too. The first one I started talking about my metabolic issues. I was fine because I could talk about that for hours. I talked about my endo, I talked about flares. I did another one, I talked about pancreatitis and just things that and I would recommend to anybody trying to get on TikTok. Like you just got to go and you got to be real, because people look for that authenticity, and
Mm-hmm.
that's really what I think has helped me. Just like talk, and I just
Yeah.
talk, and I'm very brutally honest. Like I go on there and I tell them, guys, I'm struggling with constipation, which is a whole other conversation as well. But I tell them, and I'm like, this is what it is, and some people are like, oh, TMI, and I'm like, no, there is no TMI. Number one,
Yeah.
and number two, that's what we're here for. We need to try to figure these things out, because if you struggle on your own, you're gonna crash and burn.
As you've gone live, like, do you feel like you do TikTok shop? Do you promote stuff? Like, I'm trying to do TikTok shop, but like, I just got approved like 2 weeks ago, so I did not know. Like, I've made a couple of videos, but I know some people have made like their year's salary off of like a video blowing up, and I'm just like, I'm over here like, please let this happen to me. I need this.
Yeah, you got to keep going. It takes one video. I mean, yeah, I've done shop now. Maybe a couple months, if that, but I do the lives more. Just to me, it's easier. I do
Mm-hmm.
the videos, and I do the videos because if you get like a sample from someone, you have to do the video. So
Mm-hmm.
I've done a couple videos, and I've done a couple lives like with my walking pad and things like that. But I mean, shop exactly. You got to nail that one video, and maybe make your year salary, but that hasn't happened to me.
Well, listen, I do Amazon influencer program, so I've made 300 product videos in the last like 3 months because I got accepted into that, but they're all horizontal, and I'm like, oh my god, so I can't use like really any of them to cross post.
So that's funny. I was actually looking at your all your stuff. I do the Amazon influencer too. That is so funny. That's actually how I even crossed into social media. I started like an Instagram page for Amazon, reviews and how to get into the program and whatnot. That was a whole other thing. But I've been doing that for a couple months. I'm not as good as you. I only have like 100 videos.
I mean, I haven't really seen. I've gotten a load of free stuff. Like every day is like a package coming, but I just haven't really made that much money off of it yet.
Yeah.
I made more through creator connections.
Same. We're the same boat. I get things every day, something free, and I've been doing the creator connections, and I've been doing, but I think I made the most I've made in a month is maybe $150.
Yeah, about the same, honestly. I made one commission that was $57 because it was on a HVAC unit, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be rich.
Oh my God. Wow. No, the most I made on one was like $20. It was on my standing desk. But I agree with you. I saw you put in one of your videos that it is the most passive. I agree 100%. Can you put them there, set it and forget it? Sure. I log into the account and I see, all these things. Yeah. Is it more passive than the affiliate? Sure. You're not driving links. I agree with you 100%. I haven't tapped into shop as much because I don't think it's as passive, and eventually the algorithm will stop showing your videos and you got to keep doing the lives.
Yeah.
Full-time job, and just being a normal average person, you can't.
There's no way, because this is like YouTube, I do eBay, I do like a little bit of everything online, so I don't have a full-time job, but like even just trying to put out all these like videos for Amazon influencer program, I try to make if I'm gonna film that day, I'll make like 7 to 10. Sometimes like the most I've ever done in a day is like 15. So I'm like, how are these people putting out like thousands on their storefront? But I think a lot of them are like AI, or they're just stolen clips.
Oh, I think so too. And then I didn't even cross post a lot of them. I should. And you know what's funny? All my videos are vertical. All of them.
Really?
For Amazon influencer. I didn't know, here goes my lack of tech skills. I just filmed it because our phones are vertical. So I was like, all right, let me just film vertical, whatever. Yeah. So I started doing it. And then not too long ago, I want to say like last week, I said, oh my God, my videos are vertical. I can put them on TikTok.
There you go.
I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, that takes time too. Just getting all the videos and then reposting them. You got to make a title. You got to put the thumbnail, make it look halfway decent to put on your, TikTok.
Yes. 100%.
It's time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get that walking pad. Make me want it.
It's so good. It's amazing. I'm staring at it right now. It's under my desk, but it is so good. It is so, so good. And it can go from obviously 0.1 to 5, but I put it at just 1 mile per hour because I'm working. So I'm there.
Yeah.
At first I thought I'm not going to be able to type or, do anything or read. And I even did it today. I was doing it and I'm like, this is amazing because you're walking slow. And by the time I looked down, it said an hour and I had walked a mile. And I'm like, okay, whatever, an hour. Okay. But you know what? It's a mile that I wouldn't have walked otherwise. So
yeah, because I spend hours in this chair, in this room, hunched over, looking at my computer, looking at my phone. So just my posture alone, I feel like that would help, just get me out of the chair for a little while.
Yeah. Go ahead. Look at my showcase.
Absolutely. I will get it from your showcase. No one else. Hey, if I have friends who do affiliate, I'm always trying to click through their links because I know how it is. You just get that dopamine rush when you get a sale. It's nothing else in the world. I don't know how to explain it if you never did it.
I do it too. I'm always like, hey, anybody have this on their shop? Yes, me. All right, cool.
Yeah. I'm going for you. I mean, absolutely. I got excited about 24 cents when I was doing Amazon influencer, and I was like, this is how you know that you're a true entrepreneur, because I have been working my ass off for 24 cents.
I know. Every time that someone gets the fiber gummies from me or something, I'm like, I get 18 cents and I'm like, yes, 18 cents.
Yes. My commission, it's so funny. I used to sell real estate, and that was a whole different side of commission. But something about getting paid to sell is very motivating. I think this conversation just shows weight loss is, after you're conquer weight loss, you don't really think about it that much. Like I struggle to even like figure out what to say to people because it's just not something that's on my mind really big anymore.
Agree 100%. I used to make weight loss talking point between me and my entire family. A lot of people in my family are overweight, and it was a talking point at every single event, at every single holiday. And I just don't even talk about it at all. And people come to me and say, well, tell me, and what are you doing? And this. And once you do conquer it and you feel better, you have so much more time and space in your head. It's really incredible, because I used to have a lot of space with the food noise, that
Mm-hmm.
know that food noise that everybody talks about. And for me, it's gone. It's been gone since day one. And because I don't have that, it just leaves that much more space for everything else.
Yeah, like you, even just something simple like reading a book, like you can focus on that one thing and that subject matter so much better than if you're like, wonder what I'm gonna eat next, you
Yeah,
know? Or
with working at home, it's so easy to snack, right? And
Mhm.
remember that I would be working and I'm like, oh, I can get a snack. Well, maybe I can step away 2 minutes. And I would be working thinking, okay, I think if I open here, yes, I remember there's, some leftovers. And it was just awful. And I don't, sometimes I'm like, oh, wow, look at the time I haven't eaten. I guess I should eat.
Yeah, I feel like a different person, like genuinely, because I don't. It's just not it's not a priority. Like I want to enjoy eating, but sometimes I don't even really feel like I get that. I don't like aside from my mom's cooking, I really don't get that dopamine rush anymore. My mom cooks, oh my gosh, like old country cooking. Like she made chicken and dumplings and dropped it off at
I,
our house. She makes all the sweets, like everything bad, everything you're not supposed to eat. She drops it off here. So I'm like, if I can continue to lose weight under these circumstances, I can do anything.
so do you walk by it and you're kind of like, I don't want it?
What happens, this is bad, but Daniel, my boyfriend, he eats it. He'll be like, do you want any? And I'll be like, not right now. And then before I know it, it just dwindles away. And so, and I can get a piece of it, like a small piece, and eat it and taste it, and then I'm good. So,
That's what happens to me now with drinking. I'll still have a drink here and there, but most of the time, I don't want to. It's not even like something that I crave. So
so I guess I've probably never said that we're both Fridays advocates, which I guess just basically means we're getting people a discount with our code. So if you guys want to try Fridays, you can get $20 off with code Tati or Bella. I tell people to flip a coin, pick one and flip a coin.
yep.
You know,
What really matters to me is you getting access and getting started. And I really like, it's so important for me to get that message out that, you know, it, I don't care if it's not me, or, it's just get out there. And even if it's another, a lot of people look at other providers. And my biggest thing is advocate for yourself, educate yourself, read, because that was what did it for me. The education is the number one thing that changed it for me. I wouldn't be here. And if you can just do, if you could take away one thing or do one thing, is definitely read. The internet is there and it's free, and, try to get yourself into something that you can understand what you're going to get yourself into.
powerful message. Don't just take the first answer from the first person. And I've been like that my whole life, where I'm like, I think they're not giving me everything they know, or like I just kind of dig a little deeper. And so I feel like if you have that, you just have more critical thinking skills than like most people. Because if your doctor says something, then you do feel like, well, I guess my doctor said it. I guess that means it's fact. But there's just not really a lot of information about obesity medicine right now, and there's a lot of old white men who just think that people who are fat are just lazy.
Exactly.
So
And that really is the norm now. It's sad, but it's true. And I like what you said. Don't take their word. Like, a lot of people say, well, the doctor said it. So, and I get that in my life. So, well, the doctor told me that this is bad. And I tell people, get another doctor.
get a second opinion, boo boo.
Get another doctor. Freddy's has like 400 providers or something, I heard the other day. And,
Yeah.
you know, Even here, I've had people tell me, oh, well, I didn't really like connect with the doctor. I go, great. Well, the next month you can see another doctor.
Yeah. You have a rotating staff of doctors who can see you. Do you do a video visit, or do you just do like a med refill visit?
No, I just do a refill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have, I, I mean, let me knock on wood. To this day, I don't have any side effects. I've been on that same dose. They even tell me, they're like, well, do you want to go up? And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, well, why would I? And they're like, well, I guess so.
Yeah, if it's working, then there's no reason to. Like minimum effective dose.
Yep, it is
Just
working.
just hang out where you're at. And I mean, I feel like just being able to access the medicine is everything, like you said, just like getting started, getting over that hurdle, because it's like everything that we make up in our mind has not actually happened, contrary to what we think. So, I mean, great message about just being able to just get over that initial fear with information and education.
Yeah, definitely identify what the fear is. Because I know fear is one of the main things. Identify what it is, and once you can pinpoint, well, I'm scared of nausea. Well, I'm scared of vomiting. Well, I'm scared of, I don't know, getting cancer. A lot of people are scared of that too. Then go and look at, the data that's there. And once you get the data, then go prepared and have a conversation with your doctor to see if it's for you. And that's really all you can do.
Just do it. Like, get started. Don't put it off. Don't wait till 2025. We're in November. You might as well get started now.
Oh no, now is the time to get started before the holiday.
Yeah.
Now.
Before you go to every dinner. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate just how much you shared with everyone. I'm sure they're going to get something out of this, because I learned a lot just from talking to you. It's been great. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. And I hope that somebody does make that move out there.